and Audi both have the right to test drive in Nevada and California as well. What differentiates your technology from theirs?
As Samir stated already, in our car, which by the way you can see here in the back in the video, we have integrated technology which is either state-of-the-art with regards to serious application already, or which is very close to be launched. And very close means this year, during the course of this year. And we are talking about a multitude of sensors and actuators. And these are long-range as well as short-range radar sensors operating at a range of 77 and 24 gigahertz. We are talking about stereo camera systems, mono camera systems. We are talking about, for sure, electronic brake systems, together with active boost function. We are talking about electromechanical steering. We are talking about the sensor fusion of all the signals coming from the different sensors, which is a great deal. And as said before, our core competence, and that we are on the way to start now, to establish fail-safe concepts, which allow us really to bring these type of technologies into serious production in the different steps I mentioned.
Did you talk to any lawmakers, and are you optimistic that you will have a change of law for the year 2016 to get from 10 kilometers per hour to, let's say, 50 or something like that?
Maybe some is more dedicated to the situation in the U.S.
So if you take in the U.S., and this is, by the way, valid for many technologies, not only for this technology, the NHTSA and the DOT obviously play a big role, and we're in constant discussions with them to show what do we have as technology, and obviously they draw their own conclusions after that, but we basically show our roadmaps, what we can do, where we see the future, and they do that with others as well, because they're different technical solutions, and then finally they will give them the recommendation to the lawmaker.
So in North America, we are further ahead in this discussion. Europe will follow very fast, we believe. And the key point is, if the automotive industry can prove that we will be able, while integrating such kind of technologies into the vehicle, to advance safety and to make vehicles and driving safer, then the authorities will follow.
What could be the most important reason for resistance against automated driving?
I mean, for sure, with every technology, new technology, there are concerns. How about if you have a malfunction? What could be the consequences? But we are experienced to such kind of situations. We went through the same process as we launched the ESP systems, electronic stability systems, and we believe that this time this process will move much faster.
You know, almost everything on display downstairs, almost all of the products down there, the advances seem to be aimed at enhancing the traditional romance of driving, i.e. I'm in control. I mean, even things like down to the exhaust note. You know, you have a car down there that you can manipulate the exhaust note to suit your ultimate fantasy, whatever that happens to be. So if you have the industry, on the one hand, seemingly moving in that direction, what happens to automated driving, giving up control, which in America is almost anathema, giving up control over anything?
It is not about automated driving, about disempowerment. It is indeed even about more freedom, because then you can do even more with this greater freedom. Because also we think that when we do this right, then driving is even becoming more safer due to this networking. We see on the other hand also that sensors, they can react faster, and therefore also a good support in it. and therefore also distraction is by far less when this is done in the right manner. And then there is another element also supporting, that's about energy management. Because an automated driving scenario can also support that you drive the most fuel efficient way. And so in that, we see at the end more freedom than any kind of disempowerment.
Just let me add one comment on that. We have that already today. As Elmar mentioned, partially, not fully. Why not fully? ACC cruise control is for me automated driving, but partially. Why? Because it's only for the longitudinal control, means accelerating and decelerating, but not for the horizontal, means steering. So ACC cruise control today is without steering intervention. So the difference between the partial and the highly or fully would be then the next step with the steering intervention. And ACC has a very, very high acceptance gained in the last, I would say, 5 years. I definitely see accelerating, decelerating, and steering intervention with lane keeping as highly in the first step. And to fully, it definitely depends on top functions and on the speed, whether you drive 30, 50, or 100 or more.
Yeah, and I think what also is important that in the partially and in the highly, I would say the driver the pilot still has to watch the traffic, second after second. Where in the fully automated, that's where you will probably then get into a mode where you can be distracted, for the lack of a better expression here, for a while, doing something else before the HMI or whatever gives you the signal to take over again of the car. So again, in the partially and in the highly, you still need to focus on what is happening in your surrounding in the traffic.